Peace and prosperity, family. Peace and prosperity. And welcome to episode 2 of the Liver Flush series. Y'all, I know I have owed y'all a video for some time, but let me just fill y'all in, right? And first, again, I got to introduce myself because you can be completely new here. Okay. My name is Shakira Moore. I am a naturopath and a board certified iridologist. And if you don't know what iridology is, it's me looking into your eyes and telling you exactly what's going on in your health. That's right. You were literally born with the blueprint of every health condition you may face in your entire lifetime. That means your eyes tells a story as early as a child of what you can possibly face in your adult years. So this means no more around in circles, right? You are ready to take care of your health. So if you are ready to do that, go ahead and book an iridology consultation with me today. Now, moving forward, as far as the changes that's been going on, family, y'all, I'm doing a complete rebranding and incorporating systems into my business to make my business more effective and not only within me, but also effective at helping you. Okay. So those of you who have been with me since day one, you are going to witness the complete transformation of my website known as Holistica Palace. Also, my Instagram, you may see changes. If you're following me on both Instagram pages, you may see changes on both pages. But do not be afraid. I'm not going anywhere. It's just more so creating a system and putting it in place so that I can help educate more people around the world about this amazing science and also the importance of flushing your liver. Okay. So now going into the liver, welcome to again, episode 2. And today we're going to dive in to understanding the thyroid and liver connection. I remember the first time that I had a client with a thyroid goiter. And if you're not familiar with that, that's when growth begins to occur on a thyroid, which is that organ in your throat. And I said, well, you should do the liver flush. And of course, there was confusion because most people don't understand. They're like, what does my liver have to do with thyroid? And I said, go ahead, trust me, just do the liver flush. And after she did the liver flush, not only did she pass gallstones that she did not notice she had, but the goiter from her thyroid went down. Okay. And so you're going to see that here. You're going to see the reviews that I have from people who have done my liver flush, who have witnessed changes within their thyroid, metabolism, whether it has sped up or decreased. For those of you who have challenges gaining weight, right? There's a whole people out there that want to get bulky, and we pay attention more to the people who want to lose weight. But what about my people who want to gain weight? Can a liver flush help you? You got to watch and wait and see this entire presentation of how this can benefit you in the most greatest way. Okay. So stay locked in with me. Okay. We are here. This is about a 25-minute program. So let's get right into it. Now, welcome back. And without further ado, you're going to be learning about the amazing connection between the liver and the thyroid. So right now, I'm going to share my screen. You're going to make sure that you have some tea, some coffee, a little water, something, and a little snack to keep you occupied. Because what you're going to learn right now is going to blow your mind. Okay. So without further ado, come on, y'all, let's get right into it. Y'all know I don't waste no time, babe. Let's get right into it. Okay. And y'all in for a real treat. I mean, we have about 18 slides. Am I lagging? Okay, I was just making sure I wasn't lagging. All right. The thyroid and liver connection. Okay. The thyroid gland, all about the thyroid gland. Okay. I had some other things coming up, but I think we're on a delay. There's some tech issues, but anyway, we're still professional. All right. So the liver and thyroid connection. Okay, let's go. There we go. All right. It's a little lag there. No worries. Okay, so first, if you're like completely new to this this gland in our body, right? What is the thyroid, right? I want you to think of your neck. You just point to this area here. Your thyroid is at the base of your neck. It's a butterfly shaped organ. And I want you to think of this organ as your body's thermostat. It regulates the internal temperature within the cells of your body, right? So it also regulates metabolism too, temperature, heart rate, and digestion. So a lot of your digestive challenges, it's not just focused in on the gut, but it can also be an underlying thyroid issue as well. We're going to get more into that. Produces T4 thyroxine, which is the inactive part of the thyroid hormone, and produces T3, which is triiodothyronine, which is the active part of the thyroid hormone, okay? T3 controls how each cell uses energy. So I want you to think of your body as a house, right? Your body is a house, or it's a city, excuse me, it's a city. And in each city has little houses in them. That's the T3, that's the cells in your body. So the cells are the little houses, and your body is the city. Well, in order for that city to be powered up, right, it has to have lights, it has to have running water, it has to have workers that can effectively do the job on a day-to-day basis. Well, that's where the T3 comes in. The T3, think of it as a key. Think of it as that master key that comes in and say, here, I'm here to turn on the lights. I'm here to turn on the water. I'm here to get the workers moving so that they can have optimum energy. That's how your T3 is working within the body. That's how your thyroid hormones are working. But if you don't have enough T3, well, the lights are going to go dim. Water is going to stop working, and the workers are going to be tired, drained, fatigued. All of the symptoms of what? Thyroid deficiency. All right. So let's keep going to the next slide. So how does the thyroid gets powered up, right? We don't think about this. And I'm not going to get, again, I break things down or build it up to a level where you can easily digest it, right? I provide analogies that even children can watch this and say, okay, I can understand that, right? A house and cells and cities, right? So here is this topic here. It's called the super enzyme for supreme thyroid function. Now, this enzyme, it's like a family of enzymes, right? And this enzyme is called DO or deoxydenase, or you have D1, D2, and D3. Just think of that. I want you to remember that word throughout the presentation, okay? And so type 1 deoxydenase, we're going to say D1, right? So D1 is primarily found where, y'all? In the liver and the kidneys. So the D1, which is that enzyme, contributes to circulating T3 levels and can both activate and inactivate thyroid hormones. So this enzyme is a family of enzymes that convert thyroid hormones T3 into T3 and T4 by removing iodine atoms. Okay, we're going to keep learning about that as we go into the slides. And so this really points to the question, right? When we are getting our thyroid levels checked, and I've had many clients, family, that stated, oh, my thyroid levels are good, but within their iris tells a totally different story. So a lot of people will ignore taking care of their thyroid. And so what I tell them is not that your thyroid is at optimum level. They're not doing the correct lab work to see other factors of a poor functioning thyroid. The main lab test that they run is TSH levels. And so that just shows how active one component of the thyroid hormone is. If this enzyme D1 is lessened in the body, how will your thyroid be optimum? It can possibly show up as a healthy thyroid, but if this is not checked, then There's your answer. Okay. So D1, or the family enzymes, deodenase and thyroid hormone activation. Remember, this enzyme activates the thyroid hormones, okay? And that's what we need to see. We need to see that because this shows how much of the thyroid hormones that are circulating in the bloodstream and how it is bioavailable to every cell or house in the body, right? That's how the T3 gets into the cells and in the tissues. So the deodenase enzymes are responsible for converting thyroid hormones into their active or inactive forms. They do this by removing iodine atoms, not general ions, from T3 and T4. This step is essential for regulating thyroid activity in the body. So I want you to picture it like this. Each thyroid hormone has iodine atoms, right? I believe T4 has 4 iodine atoms and T3 has 3 iodine atoms. In order for those iodine atoms to penetrate into the cell, you need this enzyme to be in its optimum level in order for them to pull. I'm saying them, the enzyme is referred to as them, and for them to pull the iodine atom and make it easily accessible for the cells to use for metabolism, for temperature activation, for other minerals like zinc, selenium. All of that needs to be available in the body. Okay, so that's how it works. It's pulling the iodines from the hormones so that it's readily accessible for the cells in the human body. Okay, so that it shows that your body is in homeostasis or balance. Okay, following me here. We're following me here. How y'all doing out there? Okay. Okay, so deiodinase, right? Enzymes in thyroid hormone activation. So again, thyroid hormone basics. That's why they call it T4 or thyroxine. T4, 4 iodine atoms. Remember that. T4, 4 iodine atoms. T3, 3 iodine atoms. T4 is a prohormone, which is mostly inactive, and T3 is the active hormone that stimulates metabolism in the cells. Okay, so that's just the basics. And this is something that our endocrinologists are not breaking down unless you ask for it, family. You have to ask for it. If you know deep down that you suspect a thyroid issue, you have to say, hey, I suspect that this is going on and I need further testing. Maybe the testing that they're doing, like the basic thyroid panel, is not enough. And so we need to go deeper into testing to see if something is going on with my thyroid. Okay. So we're going to be going over that, how to request it, lingo to use. You can screenshot it so that if you're watching this program and you suspect a thyroid issue, first, I suggest to have your iridology consultation. I can see thyroid issues at its infancy level at the intracellular stage. And then I will show you in your report of what labs that you can request. Okay? Sounds good. Now, the enzymes and thyroid hormone activation, liver thyroid connection. Now, remember we talked about that this enzyme is a family. It has the D1, D2, D3, and D4. The D1 is where the liver contains D1, which is that enzyme deiodinase, a key player in converting T4 to active T3. So think of the T4 as the resting hormone. And when the pituitary gland sends messages and say, hey, we need T3 to be active into the cells, then that's when the T4 will convert it to the active T3, all right? If the liver is sluggish or toxic, right, if it's fatty, it's congested, you're not able to convert that T3 or have that T3 production, and that production may drop, leading to symptoms of low thyroid function, even if the thyroid gland is still producing T4. So this is the challenges that you are running into when you have these tests. It's coming up clear, but it's still something is wrong. And then you got to think, family, so many people are having thyroid removals. A lot of people are having thyroid removals. So all of these thyroid removals, this is important, y'all, because a lot of us don't understand that by the time that that cancer has developed or that goiter has developed, and the doctor is telling you, hey, you have to make a decision now. We need to do a thyroidectomy. And for that matter, let's search up really quick. Uh, we're, thyroidectomy. I'm going to show you how these thyroidectomies and how many are done per year. Look at that. Look at the numbers. Look at these numbers. And mainly women are getting these surgeries. So, are is it effective to go to our primary doctors every year and have them run the basic thyroid panel and telling us that our thyroid is healthy throughout our 20s and 30s and early 40s? And then by the time we're at a certain point, where possibly could be diagnosed with thyroid cancer or goiter, which can lead to a total thyroidectomy? Or should we be getting iridology consultations, checking our thyroid in real time, how it's functioning at the cellular level, and knowing what additional labs to request? Okay, so I wanted to I want to paint a picture for you, right, of how this works, how the liver is considered the delivery hub. Now I want you to think of like a FedEx truck, right? And so liver creates carrier proteins to move thyroid hormones through the blood. The hormones can't travel freely. It needs a ride. So, in order for these hormones to move throughout the body, it needs a delivery ride. That's where your liver comes in. So, think of your liver as the hormone logistics center or a FedEx truck, right? You have your D1, which is that super enzyme that's primarily found in the liver and kidneys. And that enzyme contributes to circulating T3 levels and both can activate and inactivate thyroid hormones. Okay, so if you see a deficiency in that enzyme, where that's where we're seeing the problem of low or inaccurate or poor functioning thyroid hormones. So this is how it works, right? You have three hormone delivery trucks. You have your thyroxine binding globulin or TBG, which is your first class truck. That is transporting 70 to 75% of the thyroid hormones. That's a lot. You see how responsible the liver is for thyroid issues, right? Then you have number two, transthyretin, TTR, which is like a special delivery van, fast delivery to the brain that deals with delivering the thyroid hormones to the brain, the neurons, okay? And then you have number three, your albumin, basic pickup truck, a loose binding for quick release. Okay, so this is how your liver is active in the process of thyroid hormones and thyroid function. Okay, so T4 to T3, liver's enzymatic magic. T4 is inactive, T3 is active. Liver converts 60% of T4 into T3 using that super enzyme deodenase, deodenase enzymes. Liver dysfunction can mean low active hormone, even with a healthy thyroid. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Liver dysfunction can equal low active hormone even with a healthy thyroid. So if it's showing up as healthy and you have a liver dysfunction, but it's showing up as a healthy thyroid on your lab test, but there's still something going on, well, we need to look to what? The liver, okay? So this is really categorizing and looking at the hormonal command chain, right? You have your hypothalamus, which is a part of the brain that releases TRH, okay? It's called thyrotropin hormone, I believe, is the words that trips me up. Then you have your pituitary gland that responds with TSH. Now that's the main hormone that they're looking at on thyroid panels, okay? That's called the thyroid stimulating hormone. The thyroid produces T4 and T3, right? And then the liver must activate and distribute these hormones. Okay, so think of your body as a system. It's not looking at the thyroid by itself. A lot of us are, taking bladderwrack, we're taking zinc, we're taking selenium, and those are good. We're taking omegas. Those are amazing. I would never tell you to stop. But if you have been taking those things for months and you're still like frustrated as to why this isn't working, maybe it's your liver. We have to look to the root. I had a person, and you're going to see the review in a moment, where they were taking so much stuff. I mean, they were taking protein powders, the omegas, years, nothing. And boom, you about to see the change. Okay. So hormone delivery, the postal system analogy, right? I like to give my analogies. Thyroid is the factory. The hypothalamus pituitary axis, right? And these are from my like science people, but listen, I break it down so that you can understand. All right. So that HPT, which is the hypothalamic pituitary axis, is the dispatch. It says, hey, we sending it your way. Okay. Get ready. Liver is the FedEx center, receives it. Carrier proteins, those are the trucks. The liver has the trucks. And now, if you have a congested liver, well, there's delayed deliveries. You got boxes packed up that can't go out to different people. Okay. Let's change this here. Okay. And then the metabolic rate slows down. You have challenges with hypothyroid, right? Where you're gaining weight. It's harder for you to lose weight, right? You're having issues with hair loss, fingernails. You're tired all the time. And that's another thing that they don't go into. Iron is so important for thyroid function. You cannot have a healthy thyroid with healthy blood and healthy iron active in your blood. Okay, that's important. All right. Why this matters: fatigue, again, weight gain, brain fog may stem from liver issues. Labs may show TSH, T4 is normal, but there are still symptoms of a thyroid dysfunction. Your liver terrain health equals hormone efficiency and balance, y'all. Okay. So now we get to it. So now that you know all about the thyroid solution, how it's tied into the liver, how the liver is the FedEx center, and they have the trucks, which is those three major proteins. That is the TBG, which is the and then you have the TTR, which is the transthyretin, and then you also have the albumin. And each of these trucks do a specific job to making sure that you have active T3 in your blood so that it can get to every cell in the body. That's important. That's what we want, because that's what's going to keep the body in balance. So this is an amazing review. This is what I was talking about earlier, family, of how this is actually my uncle, right? He's been doing, I remember it's been years. Look at this, 9 years ago. Let's read this right now. It's from Amir Shahid. This is a recent review. Solutions sought and found, y'all. Since approximately 2016, I've been struggling with gaining weight. Remember, this is for my people who have trouble gaining weight. Some people, I know y'all focused on losing weight. It works for that too. But I have to shine a light on the people that's looking to gain weight. There are tons of people out there looking for solutions, and this is it, y'all. That's right, gaining weight. Over these years, I've been trying protein shakes, eating lots of carbs, and even eating late at night in order to gain weight. Isn't that what makes people gain weight, especially women? I know I can't eat at night. I do not eat late at night unless it's a bar or a little snack. Anyway, let's keep going. I've been unsuccessful. Sounds like a good problem, huh? LOL. I've been doing intermittent fasting, water fasting here and there, but I have not actually done a full liver cleanse until spring of 2024 with Dr. Shakira. At the time, entering my first liver cleanse, cleanse. I was at an all-time low of 157 pounds, and this is in his adult years. Throughout the next few cleanses I've been involved in, I've learned that my body needs to properly detox and cleanse in order for my body to absorb properly. As of June of 2025, I can proudly say that I am now 187 pounds, not sloppy either. All this time, I didn't realize that my body needed to detox and cleanse in order for me to gain weight. Ironically, I'm also starting to see more hair on my scalp grow back in places where I thought I couldn't. So now the oils that I'm using are more effective since my body is being regularly cleansed. This investment that I have made in this liver, gallbladder, pancreas, spleen detox is literally priceless. Peace and love, niece. Look at that, y'all. I'm getting chills reading that. This is a weight gain review, right? For those of you who have been struggling with weight, you have been looking like in a more emaciated weight, right? You're looking really thin. And you're like, listen, I want to put on some healthy weight. I even have a sister that I haven't seen in months, and I'm waiting for her review as well. Hadn't seen her in months. She's usually like very, very, very skinny. She was very thin. And it shocked me. I seen her. She did my liver flush just recent spring. I seen her a few days ago, and I said, girl, you getting thick. And she was like, why does everybody keep saying that? I said, this happened after the liver flush, didn't it? She was like, let's go to another one, y'all. Flush Your Liver Challenge, another review. Healthy weight gain by Audie. Okay, this is recent review. Dr. Shakira is the best. I've had an iridology consultation previously with her and learned so much. The liver flush is the truth. I've always struggled with gaining weight even after 2 kids. I was 93 to 95 pounds, currently 128. My skin is so much clearer, also in way more energy now. Family, this is not something that I just throw in the air. This is not something that I'm testing out. Okay. We have real results from real people who have done the Flush Your Liver Challenge. And it is time for you to be that person with the testimony just like this, with your own testimony from your own experience of what this Flush Your Liver Challenge can do for you. Starting this a year ago, I had no idea where it was going to take me. Not only did it help me so much to put my weight and continuously to help put my weight at a natural weight for my body type, my height, helped my skin. It helped with, oh my goodness, digestion. The liver flush has been a gold mine for me. All right. And it's going to be the same way for you. Now it is time to go into how to ask your doctor about these enzyme testings, which is essential for thyroid function. So again, we talked about that even though they're checking the TSH and the T4, which are the standard thyroid panels, the TSH is your thyroid stimulating hormone. The T4 is the inactive part of the thyroid hormone. It can still mean that you have a thyroid issue, even though it's coming up as healthy on your screenings. So we need to look into why this is happening. So after you had your iridology and I said, hey, there is definitely a thyroid deficiency going on here, even though your recent lab says everything is fine. Here's what I want you to request, okay? This is why this matters. Remember that D enzyme, D1, D2, and D3 convert the thyroid hormones, T4 to T3, which makes it active, and it converts the T4 to RT3, which is inactive. Okay, that makes it gets rid of the waste thyroid hormones out of the cell. Okay, so their activity is not directly tested in standard labs. You're not going to find this when you go to like for your standard CBCs or complete blood panels. You're not going to find that. Instead, we access conversion indirectly through thyroid panels. All right. So this is what I want you to say when you go to your doctor, right? After you had your iridology, you'll say, I'm interested into understanding how well my body is converting T4 to T3. I've been reading about deodoinase enzymes and how they influence this. Could you order a full thyroid panel for me, including free T3, free T4, reverse T3, and possibly thyroid antibodies so we can assess my thyroid conversion? Okay, that makes it simple and to the point, especially if you suspect a thyroid issue. Okay, so again, labs test to request thyroid panel, free T4, which is the inactive thyroid hormone, free T3. Now, when you see the free, that means that it's active in the bloodstream. Okay, and they do something where they can test it to see how active it is. Reverse T3 shows diversion to inactive pathway. Okay. And then you have your TSH, which is a basic screening. That's your thyroid stimulating hormone. And then your thyroid antibodies, that checks for autoimmune diseases like Hashimoto's or those kind of thyroid autoimmune challenges. So you can test for that as well. Again, family, I do not believe in these disease names, right? Some people do, and it's really tough to pull a person out of the matrix when they have us caught in the matrix of disease names like autoimmune diseases. Really, it's called auto intoxication because the cells are bathing in waste and it no longer can function at optimum level to convert all of these different hormones to make it active. So that's what we're seeing here. But again, this is for those who want to go further and say, hey, I'm going to use both. I'm using holistic and I'm using allopathic as well. And this is for you. Okay. So we don't look down on one system. What I do say is use holistic. I would say 90%. And then the 10% is just getting labs done, knowing what's going on, knowing how the blood is working. And you go home and you take care of the challenge yourself. Okay. Want to make that clear. So additional nutrient labs, you can check for cofactors, nutrient deficiencies like selenium. That's vital for that enzyme activity. Zinc supports thyroid hormone production, and iron, ferritin. Also check your ferritin levels. They do that as well, which is essential for T4 to T3 conversion. You want to make sure that you're eating foods high in these essential minerals. I know oat straw is really good for selenium, right? That's where your bladderwrack is. All your sea vegetables like dulse, bladderwrack, kelp, okay, zinc. You'll find that in pumpkin seeds. You'll find that in beet juice. You'll find that in a lot of greens. And then your iron, of course, you'll find that in fresh greens. You'll find that in all your red fruits and vegetables. So that's important to eat these minerals in food form, and that's what we find in the Juice Plus. Okay, so if you are ready to do that, you're ready to go to the next level when it comes to eating these minerals, go ahead and email me the email is listed on the page here, and then we can get you set up to get your Juice Plus Whole Food Nutrition, which has all of those minerals in it, and it gets to these foods get directly to the cells. Okay, so that's what we want to see. So it's time for you to do the Flush Your Liver Challenge. Okay, it's a 7-day process. You've heard about it already. If you've been on my page, all my social media sites for a while, you've watched the intro to the Liververse. It's time for you to participate in this 7-day challenge. If you want to know more, it will be in the comments, and it's also on my website, holisticapalace.com, where you can purchase your liver kit to get into the Flush Your Liver Challenge. Family, I cannot begin to tell you how amazing you will feel once you do this challenge. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. We are done. We've been going for a while. I believe we hit over 25 minutes. It's so much information. And I wanted to make sure that I share it with you. But I also want to make sure that you watch this too. So if you made it to the end, I appreciate you. And I hope that you appreciate yourselves for really understanding how your thyroid works internally and not just focusing on the thyroid, but really focusing on how other organs are working with the thyroid, such as your liver. Okay. Thank you again for tuning into this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay. And also subscribe as a paid tiered subscriber on my Patreon, and you choose the tier. All right. Thank you so much for being here, family. I love sharing this information. I love awakening minds so that you can understand how your body works in its most simplest explanation. I'll see you again for episode 3. Peace and abundance, family.